Was you even more bitter towards the Germans?
Yeah, hell of a lot more.
Did you have any times when you thought you get even
Whoa,
after that?
yeah.
You couldn't help it, could you?
For everything the Army'd give to you, huh? Just launch them all.
If it had atomic bomb, I'd drop it. That's what they ought to do over there where they're at now, drop 3 or 4 of them atomic bombs in there, let them go off, and I think them some bitches might give up. Oh.
Do you remember how long after you saw the concentration camps that the war ended?
Wasn't very long.
Not very long.
Nope.
What'd you think about Hitler committing, so supposedly committing suicide?
I don't think he committed suicide.
You think he lived out his years, huh?
I think they let him go or something, or he put him somewhere.
Did you hear about the one of the main men in the concentration camps being responsible for, I'm going to say 50 lives, but I'm sure it was more than that. He's 96 years old, I believe it is right now, and just like last week, he was convicted of shooting and killing all these people, and yet he's not going to have to serve a day. He lives here in the United States, by the way. He's not going to have to serve a day because he's in ill health, and he won't have to go to prison. Even though he was sentenced to prison, he's not going to have to serve any time because of being so old and in bad health. What do you think about something like that?
I think if I was him, if I had 45, I'd end these days right now. I would.
Yeah.
And I would feel sorry for the son of a bitch either.
Well, his wife keeps saying that you got the wrong man. Right?
Yeah. But their wives are wrong sometimes too.
Right. What do you think about America opening up their gates to all these German generals who ran concentration camps?
They ought to be shot. Anybody open up a gate for somebody that was a general or anything in the German army ought to be shot. Well, they all just alike.
Okay, we were hearing a story about you having almost on a hill with your tank. Tell us about that.
Oh, we was going up a hill like what they call Big Hill in Kentucky. And campfires down in there looks like guys are lighting a cigarette down over there so far. And I didn't have grousers on my tank.
What are those, Grandpa?
Thing that stuck out on the side of the tank and the track. And they would grab. They'd grab. It would
keep from sliding, or.
I had blocks on mine. Blocks, and they couldn't put them on there. I had a raised up tread on it. I couldn't put them on that. So I started to go backwards over the damn thing, over that hill. And if my tank hadn't, my trailer hadn't a jackknife, me back up on the tank, the trailer, I'd have probably went over that hill. But all the guys bailed out. Well, I told them bail out, and I had my seat belt on ready to bail out too. And they all got out, so I stayed in there till it was just about, here come they had back the, what I call the wrecker down there to pull me out, and they pulled me out, my help, they pulled me out. I got out on the road all right, and I was all right then.
And what was this thing about going down the hill on your fanny?
Well, when you got out of the slick, you fell. I went down a little ways over the hill, but I come back up to my tank.
That was down there in Kentucky? Or where was
No,
that? That was over there.
that was over there. I said it was a big hill like it got down in Kentucky.
So did you see winter over there, Dad?
Yeah,
How was those winters over there?
rough. They were rough.
Snow?
Yeah,
Lots?
yeah, 26 below.
Were you over there for like 1 full year, 2 full years?
About two of them. About 2 full years over there.
Did you get to come home during that time or no? Just 2 full years?
Nope. But I think every man over there needs a bonus. That went over there and fought for $21 a month. I think they need a bonus. Buy your own cigarettes and everything else, and this country don't care them over that. They give foreigners more stuff than they do us.
Plus a Purple Heart, right?
Yeah.
Weren't you taking ammo to some places, and weren't you taking some shells one time to some place and you fell on the shells and?
No, I was in my own tank. I was jumping off the tank and taking shells, or jump off the trailer and taking ammunition to the tank so they could fire. And I jumped off the trailer with 2 or 3 shells in my hand and fell and hurt myself, but that don't count.
That was over there?
Yeah. Shut it off a while, let's rest.
Did you ever see any German prisoners that you guys had? That
Yeah. I've captured a lot of them, and I got 3 out of a barn one time. And one of the boys' hands, he was a cripple because his hands wouldn't work, but he was a soldier. You had to have him. And I got one behind a big rock one time. I was out jacking around, and like Captain Rice said we should have got killed. Said the way we done. But at the Autobahn, coming down the Autobahn, I've seen them coming down the Autobahn from, like the Autobahn is like 2 roads going, one going one way and one going the other, and got a center in there. And I've seen them coming down as far as you could see, as as they went by, see them going. And
On foot then?
yeah, they were walking down through there. They know they'd get shot if they got out.
now these were German prisoners, right?
Yeah, they were walking back. And there was one German, there's a wagon over there, and some of their mess stuff, kitchen and things like that. And our old Captain Hanthorn was watching that. He thought he was dead, but the German was playing dead. And old Hanthorn seen him move. Getting pretty late at night, but he seen him. And he went over there and kicked his hind end, put him out there and put him in that thing and made him go right with him. And hollered down our line, said, keep it going. Said, if he stops, shoot the son of a bitch.
Did you see any of the prisoner of war camps of the Americans for the Germans, where they put them, where the Americans put the Germans. Did you see any of those camps?
They was all over here in our place, yeah.
They shipped them over here.
Yeah, part of them. Most of them. Hell, when I come home, I got off a ship and come up to Camp Shanks, New York. We had waiters there. It was Germans. And they done dirty too.
What?
Who's they?
Huh?
Who's they done dirty?
Everybody. They as fat as hogs and us poor, and started to cut a hunk of meat off of my pork chop, and I took my knife. I was going to cut his damn throat. He just took a piece of my meat off of there.
Was that over there or over here?
Over here in Camp Shanks, New York.
So they were the kitchen help over here at the camp. You
Yeah.
guys' camps? Okay,
They're still here as far as I know.
probably.
Yep.
And say that. Say if say how you treated them. Like, did you feed them? When you caught them, of course
Yeah.
you didn't drag them behind your tank, but
What was that, Jeremy? Are you talking about the prisoners of war of
yeah,
Germans?
when he caught. Yeah. What?
Okay, go.
When you caught these Germans, how did you treat them? Were they?
Well, we just kick them out where they's at, and we'd take them up to the outfit, and the outfit would take them back to the camps. So we didn't get to fool with them too much and didn't want to. But I got 3 in the barn one time, and that one was crippled, like I said, his hands. But they had him in there, and he was a soldier. But he was a soldier, but he was fighting for the Germans. But he didn't want to fight no worse than anybody else. And he and yeah, they
How long did you when you captured these Germans? What was the longest you had to be with them as far as transporting them back and forth?
about 10 minutes till we got them up to camp, and somebody take them back.
And then how were they acting? Were they afraid or were they?
They scared, yeah. Don't blame them. And
Did anybody treat them? I mean,
And how were they treated? Were they?
they treated them decent. So that's about as much as I can say about it, because I never did see one treated real bad. Except, well,
Dad, if you're not comfortable, don't say it.
I ain't.
take it off camera and then tell us what he said, what happened. Maybe
Well,
he
maybe
deserved
you don't
it.
even want to say it that
Yeah,
way.
he may not even tell us. Say what?
He come through, as Boston, Belgium, where he come through there,
Right.
and he was dragging his guts from here to that post out there anyway, in back of him.
Right.
We were trying to holler and tell them, get him up, and they was busy, I guess, trying to keep him alive, wasn't paying no attention.
Well, on that movie, on that HBO special, when I saw that, I went, oh my gosh, somebody was there besides you that told that story.
Yeah, probably was.
Okay.
What about when you told me sometimes when you guys stopped, the Germans would actually feed you and thank you for getting the bad Germans out?
Well, France and Germans and all did.
Yep. Because a lot of them Germans didn't want to do it. They had to or be shot themselves.
Berta, ask your question. Huh?
That when they're sitting on the...
Oh, it's Thanksgiving dinner. Thanksgiving dinner, we went up and had a big Thanksgiving dinner, and of course we took our muskets and they had to cook had it cooked, and we took our muskets, got our Thanksgiving dinner, and I got out and sat down on a big, what I thought was a straw. But it got harder and harder and harder. And I said, what makes this so hard? And I dug down in about hand deep, and a big German looking up at me, froze to death. It was froze solid.
A pile of them, Dad?
Piled all the way around that place.
Piles of Germans?
Yeah.
That's where they stacked them?
Uh-huh.
Was that just where they stacked them was going to come back and get their own men?
Yeah. Well, it is. I think we took care of them.
Did you?
Yeah.
So the Germans left their own men behind, and then you stacked them up.
Yeah.
Well, you can see that happening in war.
Did you tell them? Did you tell them what was written on the side of your tank?
Yeah. My mama.
And you came back to give us this.
My mama.
Tell us about the lady you married before you went over there. What was her name?
Who?
The lady you married. Okay, the gal you married. Mom.
Oh. Well, you only tell her about it.
Tell us how you met her. I love that story, Dad.
Met her in a tobacco patch.
Wait a minute. I thought you saved her drowning.
Huh?
I thought you saved her
Well,
drowning.
I did a long time before that. But
Before that?
Mom says he chased her up and down the ridge forever since she moved there.
Okay, tell us about you saving her from drowning. Tell us about that.
well, she thought she's big, could swim, and I know she couldn't. And she went in a drop off, and I should have let her go. But I went back and got her. And then I married her. And that's it.
What about the time when she went out to Barstow to meet you, and she said it was total blackout, and you got off the train and she didn't know where she was, and all of a sudden somebody grabbed her from behind, and I screamed, and it was him. I could have killed him.
How long were you married?
I don't know.
Before she passed away.
I don't know.
54 years, right?
54, I guess.
Was it more than that?
Yeah, it's 50. They were right on their 60th.
Oh, you're on your 60th wedding? Okay.
Now, can we back up to when you saved her?
All right, tell all that.
It was the woman you kissed,
Oh,
Dad.
I don't want to tell that.
All right.